Sources in Nigeria's fintech space have confirmed to Narise News that Nigeria's Securities and Exchange Commission is preparing a new license category for apps that provide access to overseas equities. This follows a notice posted on the SEC's website on Thursday, April the 8th, titled Proliferation of Unregistered Online Investment and Trading Platform Facilitating Access to Trades in Securities Listed in Foreign Markets. The SEC stated only foreign securities listed on any exchange registered in Nigeria may be issued, sold, or offered for sale or subscription to the Nigerian public. Very interesting development. In another development, non-bank entities in Nigeria have apparently been barred from bank verification number validation. That's the BVN. An email from Nigerian fintech firm Paystack to a customer stated that a regulatory directive from the primary custodian of Nigeria's BVN service has called for the suspension of BVN validation by non-banks. Go to North Africa. Egypt will release the giant container ship that has blocked the Suez Canal for nearly a week once a deal is reached on compensation for related losses, the head of the canal's authority said. The Evergreen blocked the canal for 6 days, roiling global markets and costing the Suez Canal Authority $15 million a day in lost revenue, according to the calculation. Egypt wants compensation for the losses as well as the cost of freeing the vessel. Joining us to discuss these headlines is the CEO of Alpha African Advisory, Sayade Okoli. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Morning, Reuters.
So, it's a whole lot to talk about today. Shall we begin with this, the SEC notice? I want to get your thoughts on how you felt when you saw it, because it's taken Twitter. Oh, we have tweets. Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Wait. Let's see these tweets. Let's push these tweets. We talked about this on the morning show. Let's show this. This is from Kanye, who is from Tunisia. I thought this was very prescient, Sayade. Founders in Tunisia don't go after hard problems because everything is forbidden by the regulator. Founders in Nigeria go after hard problems, and once they solve them, everything gets forbidden by the regulator. Different input, same output. I think we have a tweet from Hafiz. It's not even Friday, and the SEC has already come for online trading businesses, and they shut down BVN validation services too for non-banks. Memo from Abuja tomorrow to finish it all off. And then I've got another one from Tola here. When will policymakers and regulators learn that you cannot successfully restrain a group of people acting in their own collective best interest? They will find a way around every rule that obstructs their best interest. A good rule is one that relies on incentives, not force. I got another one from Tola here. 234 founders, that's the area code, international area code for Nigeria. Preparedness questionnaire. Can you sleep with one eye open? How fast can you adapt to a rule that someone who doesn't understand your business makes about your business? How low is your blood pressure and anxiety levels? And can you thrive with unpredictable policies? Yeah, so you have to set the scene for you by reading those tweets. So your turn, Sayade, please go right ahead.
Scene duly set. So I think the first thing to say is I can completely understand a lot of the negative sentiments that we see, from business owners, both here in Nigeria and outside Nigeria on Twitter, etc., etc. I think the first thing I need to say that whenever we see or hear anything from regulators or government, we should always remember they're not stupid. It's just that often they're solving for something different.
Right.
So the first thing we have to ask ourselves, what are they solving for? Truth is, what they may be solving for shall we say, let's not get into a discussion on the validity of sometimes what individuals, less institutions, but individuals may be solving for.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, I will start by what I think are some of their concerns, because you've got to ask yourself, why would they come out with something like this?
Right.
What are they scared of?
Right.
But then you also have to ask yourself, well, why are we in this position in the first place? Why do we have these new businesses that have come up with these solutions that essentially allow investors here in Nigeria to invest in stocks listed in other jurisdictions? Because that is the knob of the issue.
Yep.
So if we take that second question first, obviously we've had a few years of strain in our currencies.
Yes.
And where investors feel they are struggling to create wealth.
Correct.
The inflation rate is so much higher than the interest rate.
Correct.
So their monies are not growing. People are seeing their monies depreciating over a period of time. So they're looking at other ways to create wealth and grow wealth. So you then have businesses who see the opportunity and come in to develop solutions. Because at the end of the day, problems are calling and crying for solutions.
Yes.
And
yes.
Each time you create a problem,
yes,
you propel people to seek a solution.
Exactly. You're preaching right now. Go ahead.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
I haven't spoken to SEC, but
Okay.
if I'm sitting in their wearing their shoes,
Yes.
what are they scared of? One, they're asking themselves, okay, first of all, they are, whether we like it or not, they are responsible for regulating Nigeria's investment sector.
Correct. That is correct.
And let's be honest, whenever things do go wrong, we do go crying to SEC. We do shout, what are our regulators
Help
doing?
us, SEC, yes,
How is
exactly.
it that they were, sitting there
Right.
and they allowed us to invest in X, Y, and Z and we've lost their money?
Right.
So they do have that responsibility.
Indeed, indeed.
Second thing is they will be asking themselves, what impact will this have for the local stock market? Is this driving away traffic from our stock market? What does it mean for businesses, Nigerian businesses, who seek to raise capital in the local market? Does this mean there will be less demand for their stocks? What does this mean for the Naira? Is this putting pressure on the Naira? Those are all the things that they will be juggling.
Right.
But the key question, the key thing is engagement.
Aha.
How we engage. Because the first tweet you shared,
Yes.
the Nigerian mind is an entrepreneurial mind.
One of the best minds in the world.
Solution oriented.
That
is how we've survived.
That's what
this
Nigerian
long.
entrepreneurs do.
So each time you come up with a new hurdle, they'll either ask themselves, do I scale this hurdle?
Yes.
Or do I go around this hurdle?
Exactly.
So regulators, and it's a fine balance between, as a regulator, and this is any regulator, creating an enabling environment for businesses to thrive on one hand, and protecting the affected stakeholders
Correct.
on the other hand. And it's always a balancing act, and it's something where, shall we say, you would not use a sledgehammer. It's more something that a scalpel and fine motor skills.
Would have been better used. Well, excellent. Point well made. Any thoughts on the Paystack email about non-banks no longer being able to do bank BVN verifications?
It is confusing at best, not least because I haven't seen any other official news on the topic.
Right.
And herein lies the issue. No business person or investor likes uncertainty. What people, are taking exception to, even going back to the SEC thing, is
what's sudden.
But it's really not as sudden.
Waking up in the morning.
It's not.
And
because if you trace back, there was something even in December of last year, where they'd come up, and so this had been ongoing.
So there were clues.
We saw,
this.
even a company like Chaka coming out and saying they are applying for a license, etc., etc. So they didn't just wake up. But sudden moves are never appreciated in the business world.
Well said. Well, a minute to go. We're going to get your thoughts on Egypt. Egypt is demanding money for the ship that blocked the Suez Canal and cost them $15 million a day. Does that make sense?
Well, Egypt has their ship. So the reality is, it's about engagement.
Right.
They're going to have to come to the table, because the truth is, there's been colossal losses at various levels as a result of that blockage.
Right.
And the question is, who's going to pay? And
someone has to pay for it.
Well, at different levels. Insurance, I don't know to what extent. A lot of the losses were covered by insurance, et cetera, et cetera.
So the theme is engagement.
Engagement.
Sayende Okoli, CEO, Alpha African Advisory. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.